The main impact of the Dodd-Frank Act as far as the whistleblower bounty rules are concerned are that directors and officers need to be sure that internal compliance procedures are very robust and take into account the fact that these bounties may be payable to individuals who report out to the SEC potential violations of the Securities Acts. And so what we're recommending people do is take a look at their compliance procedures, make sure that they are robust and that they are made available to their employees so that people understand what's required of them and are not necessarily inclined to go first to the SEC, but instead to rely on a company's own internal procedures, which is, something that we believe is important to make sure that there's not an unanticipated result in the sense of going to the SEC before coming internally. So it's important to make sure that the procedures have been well publicized, that there aren't any questions about them, and that things like codes of conduct and whistleblower procedures are kept up to date and reflect the new rules. So the important thing with reporting to the government is that a company have done its homework first. You want to be sure that any internal investigation has been done, if at all possible, before getting the government involved. But what that means is that an internal investigation needs to be done quickly. There needs to be, procedures that are set up in advance to make sure that when a report comes into the hotline or comes into an individual, that there be a very quick response and have those procedures in place well in advance of a report coming in. You don't want to be creating the procedure as you're going through it. You want there to be a process that's been discussed and agreed to in advance before the report is known. And so the goal of that process being that when you go to the government, if you have to report, you can explain what's been done, the procedures that have been followed, and make sure that you have a story that's been told. A person that works with us who used to be a federal prosecutor for 25 years in the Department of Justice said that he didn't like it when companies had done those internal procedures from his standpoint because it took the control away from the company. But that's precisely what you want. You want to keep the control within your own company as opposed to giving the government the control. Clearly, being able to manage the story and tell it in a way that is most advantageous to you, is a better outcome.